Hello everyone, this is Maisie from Maisie Art. I've decided this time instead of putting some pretty classical music on, I was going to do something a little different and record myself talking about my process here. As you can see, so far I've only done coloring time-lapse videos. This time I decided to do something a little different and give you some insight into my actual drawing process. At this point in the drawing, I have no idea what I'm doing. Right there is where I decided it looks kind of like Anna from Frozen, so I was going to do her, and I had to pull up some references because honestly, I'd never drawn Anna before. But when I started out, I didn't have a clue, just kind of went at it. Now, this is not how I do my typical digital stamps. First off, I usually know what I'm going to draw before I do those, but also, usually, almost exclusively, my digital stamps are hand drawn in pencil on paper before they ever go on the computer. Most of them so far have been inked on paper as well. I don't know if that will change as I'm getting more comfortable with Paint Tool Sai. There's something about the line quality of paper that I still really like, and I have yet to be able to mimic that with Sai, though I do love Sai. So at this point, it's kind of up in the air. We'll see how it goes. So I finished my sketch there and decided to jump right into drawing, inking. If it was a more complicated drawing, I would have probably done a secondary sketch to tighten up the lines over the initial sketch. Since this one's just kind of a little chibi of Anna, I decided, we'll jump right into it. And I'm going to be honest with you right here and now. I kind of started this without any real clue as to what I was going to talk about, so you're going to have to forgive me if I blabber a little bit. I did say on the Facebook group that I would be working on a tutorial. Just so you know, this is not that tutorial. This is me practicing and seeing if I can record sounds and sound not like an idiot before I work on the tutorial. So that's still coming. Like I said, probably going to release the first section over the weekend. I've been kind of planning and scripting it out there. So I'm looking at probably at minimum 6 parts to it. I don't want any part to be more than about 10 minutes because then it would get a little boring. So probably about 6 or more parts of 10 minutes or so each, which will go through all of the steps from how to start your digital drawing and prepare it for your digital stamp rather, and prepare it for coloring, to how to use Paint Tool Sai, just kind of the basics that you would need for digital coloring, all the way up to some of the details. For this particular one, I'm planning, this Anna picture that is, I'm planning to have 2 parts. This current part is going to take you through the initial sketch, the inking, and my just putting down the very basic base colors. And then in part 2, which I will also record over and narrate, I will go through the more complicated shading and putting in the details and everything. You can tell as I get further along in this drawing that I'm not doing it for a digital stamp because I'm leaving out a lot of the details in the initial inking layer. If it was a digital stamp, it would be a lot more complicated. It would have all the little details in ink for you to color. With this one, it's just for me, so I am going to be doing those details as I go in the coloring phase. You just saw me moving things around and stretching things and pulling things. That's one of the aspects of Paint Tool Sai that I absolutely love. Decided that Anna's mouth was a little too small, her nose was a little too far over. If I were doing this on paper with my pen, I would be out of luck. We'd just have to deal with it the way it was or start over completely. With Paint Tool Sai, all I have to do is move it around a little bit. I can squish it, I can turn it. So that is definitely one of the things I have to consider when I'm trying to make that decision as to whether I'm going to do my inking on Sai or on paper. Another thing is how much time I have, because I can do my paper inking when I am at my day job, talking on the phone all day. This I can only do when I'm home, and we only have one computer, so it's shared between me and my fiance, who he likes to play video games, and I don't like to take it from him all evening after he's had a hard day at work. So we'll probably be seeing a little bit of both. Probably gonna keep working with ink as long as I am working on coloring the stamps, because all of my computer time right now is going into coloring the digital stamps and making these videos now, which are a lot of fun. I hope that you guys are enjoying having a little bit of insight into my process and hopefully maybe taking a little bit away from it. I know even if you are not a digital colorer, you can still learn from the color mixing and the processes and apply it to your own medium, whether it's markers or colored pencils or what have you. One thing to be prepared for with the tutorial that I'm going to make is I'm going to approach it from the perspective of someone who has never done digital painting before and doesn't know anything about it. And as such, if you watch my tutorial, you can jump right into it and do some digital painting of your digital stamps right away without having to worry about investing any money into it. I will link you to a program where you can get a free trial, a pretty significant free trial, and it's definitely possible, especially if you've already got your lines in a digital stamp, to do digital coloring with just a mouse. You might want something more later, but a mouse will do to start. Here I am looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, it looks like she's jumping around on one leg. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it better with two legs so she doesn't look like she's doing jumping jacks, and at the same time she doesn't look like she's had a leg amputated. Didn't really figure it out, moved the leg over a little bit and decided I was happy with that. Hopefully it makes sense that the other leg is kicked up under her skirt. And I've totally lost track of what I was talking about. As you can see in this one, I like to do the underdrawing first. I knew that she had that shirt going on underneath her cloak that I was eventually going to get in there and draw, so I just put the shirt in. It can help you stay proportionate and keep things where they need to be compared to just drawing the cloak and trying to hope that you get the undershirt, the bodice, in the right place. Okay, so here I have the lines and I've started my basic coloring. Again, this is just the base layer of coloring, so you're not going to see a lot of details here. On that note, I kind of sped it up even a little bit more than the line drawing. If you would like to have this line drawing as kind of a freebie digital stamp, I would be happy to provide it to y'all. It is, as I mentioned, it doesn't have all the details, so you'll have to add those on your own. But I'd be happy to provide it. If that's something that you guys would like to color in and we can kind of compare and contrast your coloring with mine, then go ahead and leave a comment in the YouTube video here. On that note, I am just starting out with the YouTube channel. I've only got a couple of videos up, so I sincerely appreciate any support from y'all. You guys are amazing customers and fans of Maisie Art, so help me promote this a little bit. Share it with your friends, or just put a like and maybe a subscribe when you finish up watching this video. It really does help me in the long run, because the more different ways I can get Maisie Art noticed, the better off the shop will do, and the more likely I will be to continue working with it. So it's a little bit of shameless self-promotion there, please forgive me. So I put a background in just so I could see the colors better, and this is my basic color here. I will be, as I said, doing further coloring in part 2, so I hope to see you then. Thank you!